What's up, you guys? It's Caltoon here, and welcome to Anime with Callie Sensei. So, today, I've been wanting to do a video like this, but today I'm going to talk about black representation in anime and cartoons in general. Because because of recent situations and just like, I've always knew that we don't really have any real representation in cartoons or in anime and stuff like that. But because of recent situations, I've really been thinking about it like, well, why isn't there like a main character that's black in an anime, or like something that just make me feel more appreciated, you know what I mean? Like, not just me, but like, so I can look at it and be like, oh, this person reminds me of me, like, because of, you know, just stuff. So I know that made no sense, but I've like really been sitting down and thinking about it. Like, in recent years, the only cartoon that I know that's like on like a main cartoon channel, Cartoon Network, is Craig of the Creek. And I feel like that's the only show that's giving me like a representation of black people. And it's not just black people, they show like all different races. They even have a Muslim girl in the cartoon, and she shows up sometimes, but it's focused on Craig, a black child and his black family, and they do Thanksgiving episodes. And just, or like, there was an episode where he tried to cut his hair on his own, which I know some people have tried to do that before, you know? Like, it's like a, Craig of the Creek right now is the only show that I know that is giving black representation, especially for kids to watch. I can't really remember. I know growing up there was Proud Family. It was Lil Bill, Static Shock, stuff that actually talked about certain things, and we don't really get that now. And especially in anime, it's not really a lot of black characters in animes. And there's sometimes it's certain authors that actually showcase a black character sometimes, and they do them due diligence. Like, they do them so right. Like, hair textures on point. They don't have like extremely huge lips to make it look racist. Like certain animes, like Dragon Ball Z has I guess he was an agent or something, I forgot, but I remember seeing him racist. Like, you look at it, you're just like, for real? Out of everything that you could have drawn, this is what you would do? And then, there's some, but if you look up, I'll put up some pictures, but like, certain people, like certain shows, they do the characters correct, and they do black people like it's not as bad. And then sometimes you think that the anime character is black, but there's this weird trend, I don't know if it's even around anymore, where Japanese people used to get tans to make themselves look darker, and they would act like ratchet or ghetto or something like that, and be like that, and you'd think like, oh, this character's black, and then they're not, you know? They're actually not black. It's because of the trend. Like, we don't have any real representation. I wish there was an anime out there that actually focused on a main character that's black, and like, or, you know, besides Craig of the Creek, if there was more cartoons, there might be more. I don't know, maybe there's a YouTube channel that does black cartoons, or maybe there's some shows on Netflix, but something that's on like actual television that I know kids are watching, because not everybody gets Netflix to be like, oh, let my kid watch Netflix all day, you know what I mean? Not everybody has Hulu, not everybody, you know, and some people don't have Cartoon Network, or some people don't have like actual like TV. I know some people that don't let their kids watch TV like that. So I just think like, if there was more representation, so it's not like, oh, it's only a select shows, or you have to watch older shows just to look at a character and be like, oh, that character looks like me, or, you know, or to talk about certain things just to give them knowledge about what we as black people go through. And it doesn't even have to be dark. It can be like silly stuff. Like Craig of the Creek does not go real dark sometimes. Like, I don't know if it talks, when I've been watching it, I haven't seen anything where they talked about racism or anything like that. Craig is a very smart child. Okay, he hangs out with JP and Kelsey, I almost forgot her name, and they just hang around the creek, and like, he draws, and then he like tries to find mysteries, and he's helping all the other kids, sometimes. And then sometimes they do like a black family episode, and then you really sit there and be like, yo, this is how Thanksgiving actually acts. Like, or, this is how I act with my family or my cousins or my. But maybe they'll get into it, but I know a lot of kids not gonna like really know, but who knows, maybe if they teach it. Because I know watching cartoons growing up, what's it called, Static Shock talked about racism, and I probably was like 8 or 9 watching that, so I just feel like we don't have any real representation. And if you look, I don't know, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I really was like, I wish there was a black anime out there. I could just be like, I want to watch this black anime, or I want to read this black webtoon that got a main character that's black, or some comics that has some, main characters that's black, and it's not just like regular stuff like Black Panther, and like stuff like that, like something different, something new, something that hasn't been, or maybe if they bring Static Shock back, or just to spice it up. Instead of having, oh, the black person's not the main character, but they're a side character in another show. Like, no. I would like to see, like, an all-black cast, or maybe, where the main character is black. And it's not, they don't have to, and they're not dumb, or they're not just a funny relief, or, somebody educated, somebody, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that today. So yeah, I've been thinking about it. I want to write. This has been on my mind for a while before all of this happened. I wanted to write a little comic about like just how, as the black community, we don't really talk about depression or make it seem like we're not supposed to be depressed because we're supposed to be strong and stuff like that. So I wanted to, especially because I have depression, so I wanted to talk about it in a book or like a comic, just a little comic strip about it. And I also wanted to talk about other things that go into what black people deal with, So I've been thinking about it a lot. And I think it's time I really sit down and start sketching it up and doing it, because if nobody else is going to have a black main character, I'm going to have one, and I'm going to talk about stuff that black people don't really like to talk about, don't want to talk about, where so yeah, that's it for today. If you like this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, comment, and maybe next week I'll actually talk about an anime. I just wanted to say that we don't have any real representation in anime or cartoons nowadays anyway. Like, kind of like we used to, so, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.